Welcome to this outdoor edition of Elements of Spirit for the week of October 22nd, 2017. This is the reading for the element of air, which includes the sun signs of Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. If you haven't watched the ether reading, go back and check that out now, and then you can come here and get your delicious read for the element of air. Put those two affirmations together, ether and air, and you get your elements of spirit for the week. So let's see what's up, 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 air. Okay, so air's pretty stern. It says you're looking for what you think will make you feel good instead of doing what you know is right. You're looking for what you think will make you feel good instead of doing what you know is right. Hey, that's no tea, no shade. The guides and the elements and the guides that work with me to bring this wisdom from the elements, they don't need to throw shade, right? They don't care. Hey. Why they're bringing this information forward is because it's an example of where you're wasting energy. Based on how all of the fucking planets and the stars and the signs and everything is moving together, the insight which is being offered here is that there's this trajectory going from the sense of who you are and the obligations that you have to fulfill, right? Based on what we said in the ether reading, that you're just kind of like looking for something that feels better than what you know is right. Sort of like aimlessly searching, like aimlessly searching, not aimlessly searching, haphazardly, there's a little bit of carelessness to this feeling, haphazardly experimenting when you don't really need to experiment. And then this gives us a great understanding of why the information from the first read came through, right? Haphazard searching instead of this almost like robotic rote fulfillment of obligations, right? So that's what the ether read was really saying. It's like, this is a better week for you to just go through the motions and do what you have to do, and like sort of like, it's not really sorting the feelings out next week, but it is about going through the motions this week so that the kind of high intensity triggering of the searching can chill, so that the experimenting can chill, and so that you're just sort of left with you and the obligations and the motions that you're going through. So you can then do those things, conserve all other energy just by literally showing up. It's got the vibe of showing up this week to just check off the boxes of what you have to do, not pushing yourself too hard, not going for more. Unfortunately, I have the most insane week in front of me, but there you go. Been planned for a while, so all I really have to do, yes, this is my advice, all I really have to do for myself is show up and check off the boxes and not feel so hysterical about how is it going, what would feel better, what would make more sense, what would, why poke all the holes in it, why try to improve instead of just stepping up. Because there's some sadness. Oh, because we're all feeling some sadness. Because there's sadness over what's been lost. And remember, that's what I was meant to go down that path when we were talking about the ether, but it's like the ether reading really can apply to the macroscopic events of the world, or to office politics, or to your marriage, or to whatever going on. This is the thing that's, to me, come to be the amazingness of this reading series, is not just that it applies to people, because I wouldn't have offered it if I didn't think it would apply to people, but the way that the same information can apply so differently to so many people is really kind of astounding and humbling and amazing. And the idea of it here is that when it comes through in the ether, that we're all kind of clocking this shared sense of sadness and grief and everything that's been lost. It could just be a job that was lost. It could just be, a a relationship that was lost, but it could also be the very promise of America, which has been lost. Sorry, gotta laugh or I'll sob. Okay. Over what's been lost. That's why we want to improve, because there is this sense of knowing that we can all do better. And so rather than publicizing, how can we all do better? How can we all do better? Which, is usually my vibe, right? And which is usually my vibe, especially around the time of the equinox or the eclipse, the big eclipse in August and the vernal equinox, autumnal equinox, How can we all do better? How can we be diplomatic? How can we work for the right of the other? How can we remember that there's no difference between self and other? And therefore, work for the other is work for ourselves. Work for ourselves should include everyone. This is not that. This is, why do we have to sell it? How can we all do better? Why not just do your best? Do your best with what's in front of you. Whoop. There goes the ether affirmation. We'll get it in a sec. I rise. Okay. I rise to meet my responsibilities. I am here whether it feels good or not. I focus on the tasks before me. I'm sorry to be postponing our emotional reactions until next week. Sorry in advance. But the idea is that the emotional reactions are going to try to distract you from the stuff in the ether reading, which is pointing the way to what's really bothering you. So the idea is like, you're listening for subtler clues as to what really wants to be worked on this week. So let this just be a week of showing up, doing what you have to do, and being here, whether it feels good or not, focusing on the tasks before you, okay? I rise to meet my responsibilities. I'm here whether it feels good or not. I focus on the tasks before me. I hope that the sunshine that's on my face right now brings extra sunshine to that reading. I'll see you next week.